Happy January. It's the time that I make my decision on what seeds I'm going to be growing in the garden. And it's a rainy, disgusting, horrible day. I've already got a greenhouse full of seedlings, but I love to grow. And last night I had a big sort out of my huge seed storage container. I had loads of seeds that were duplicates. I had some packets that were open. I had some that were out of date. And I've now got a whole jiffy bag full of seeds, which I am going to send to other people who might like to grow them because I'm done with those. So I've been really ruthless, gone through the whole lot, and I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be growing in 2025. Now, I really love using this storage container. It's actually for photographs, but it works really well for seeds. And actually, I'd already had a clear out in the autumn. I thought I'd had a clear out, but I've got loads more. So last night I went through and I've categorised them into months. So Jan, Feb, March and April. And then I've just put in there only varieties that I'm actually going to grow. So in addition to that, I do my own seed collections for my followers over on Instagram. And I've put together a collection we're going to sow in Feb and a collection we're going to sow at the end of March, maybe beginning of April. It's just a great way to encourage beginner gardeners to get growing, and the collections have lots of varieties of seeds. We do it in a free grow along together just to encourage people to give it a go and get growing. So these are in addition to my collections. So let's start with January. I buy my seeds from various different places, but my number one place for seeds is Bishy Barnaby's Cottage Garden. And the amazing Melanie, who owns that company, she puts all of these collections together for me. Hand weighs the seeds, she prints everything, she does it all beautifully, which is amazing. So she is a fantastic seed supplier. She's got loads of gorgeous seeds. So she's always my number one. So this is the plant number one that I'm going to be sowing in Jan. It is Cubea. It's a very vigorous climber, but it does like the sunshine. And 2024, we didn't have a lot of sun, which meant my Cubea barely flowered. But I'm going again. They're super easy to grow, and they are just really fun to do. So you can sow them in Jan, but they cannot go outside until definitely the risk of frost has gone. I don't think I put mine out probably till late April, May last year. So Cubea, yes, definitely growing that. I have got some more Leia from Red House Farm, a lovely flower farmer in Kent. She's got an Instagram page. She very kindly sent me some of her seeds. I've got some more Leia growing, but I'm going to do some more. I bought this packet from the Happy Green shop. That maybe cost me about £1.20. I've tried to grow these for the last 3 years and I've never been successful, but I'm determined to go again. And that says that you can sow in Jan, so I'm going to try that. Maybe a few more. Oh God, maybe not. If the packet's open, then they're all falling out the bottom. A few more sweet peas. I have a love-hate relationship with sweet peas because of how high maintenance they are, in that they need a lot of cutting, feeding, watering, tying in. But I'm going to plant them in a different place this year and give them another go. So I've already got lots on the go, but I just wanted to add a few extra white ones. And then Helichrysum, also known as straw flowers. Didn't grow them last year, grew them the year before, and I actually did really miss them last year. They're brilliant for drying. And I've gone for a peachy salmon rose colour, which is going to go perfectly with my dahlias and other cut flowers. So that is all I'm sowing in January. Last January I sowed some other perennials, but I've now got them in my garden, so I don't need to be sowing them again. Then we move to Feb. Now I've done my Feb in 2 boxes. The first box is things that I'm definitely going to sow, and the second box is possibly, because it's also the same month I'm going to be doing my Valentine's collection and it might just be too much for me, but these are things I definitely want to sow in Feb. So white Nicotiana, and I'm actually growing a different mix of Nicotiana as well. I've not done them before, but I really like the look of this, and it's a tall one, 90 centimeters. So I love the look of that. Chiltern Seed, that's another brilliant website for ordering seeds. Rebeca Sahara, I grew these last year and they were phenomenal. Apparently they're perennial, but I have never had Rebeca come back, so I'm going to sow again because I definitely want them in my hot border. Love that variety. Love them so much that I also bought the variety Cherry Brandy, which is just the most gorgeous, deep, rich red colour. So I can't wait to do those. Then these are a few things I've done before and decided to do again. So Moss Fabina, didn't do them last year, did them the year before. I only want enough to fill a little 20 centimetre pot. So with my seed sowing, I'm not sowing so much that I'm going to be drowning in the greenhouse. I'm just sowing enough to go in a specific area. So it flowered 4 months, was so easy, slug resistant. It was brilliant. So definitely growing those again. And yeah, I'll probably aim for just 6 plants of that. This particular variety of Aster I did 2 years ago and loved it, although I didn't have many. I had a total fail on Asters last year, didn't even have one, so I'm going again. And I love that variety so much, so definitely sowing that. This is a new discovery, Untamed Dahlias. Found them on Instagram. The Colorette variety of dahlias. So you do not know what colour you're going to get when you're growing dahlia from seed, but they're going to be open centre, which is perfect for the bees. And I am so excited. I'm going to be sowing that whole packet because I'm hoping to get some really gorgeous colours. You just never know what you're going to get with those. Dahlia Bishop's Children, I sow these every year. Again, total surprises. You don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get really black foliage like that. Other times it's more green. And you could get tangerine, pink, red, orange, like multiple different colours in one flower. You just never know. But they are amazing. So I'm definitely growing those. And then osteospermum Sky and Ice. I absolutely love this plant. It says, I'm sure it says somewhere that it only gets to 60 to 70 centimetres, but they get really big for me. 2024, they barely flowered, but it is such a stunning, valuable plant that I'm definitely growing again. Just goes to show that I'm not letting my fails stop me from trying again, because it could be a better year. Now, in my maybe February pot, purely because of how much I've got growing, I'm just not stressing about getting everything done. I might like to sow some more Echinacea pallida, gorgeous perennial, but I did have success in the autumn, and I reckon I've got 6 good plants. Agastache, again, I have had success with these, and I've got some in the greenhouse, but I thought I might do more. Catananche, I've got 6 of these in the greenhouse that look good, but I thought maybe I might do more. Aster, the roses, I tried sowing these 3 times last year and ended up with none. So I just thought I might try one more time. And then this gorgeous Salvia Euphoria, I have put it in this box because I've actually got 6 of these, maybe 8 of them on the go. I just love them. And I have a feeling I'm absolutely going to love this plant. So I thought I might sow more. We'll see. So that's why they're kind of in a maybe box. Then we're on to March. Let's see what we've got in March. So we have got cloudgrass. Never grown this grass before. Saw it on the website. Absolutely loved the look of it. I'm going to give that a go. Calendula Snow Princess. I love this. It's like a pastel yellow. So easy to grow. Pest resistant. I think I want to add it into my hot border. I might even direct sow it. Yeah, just love it. Calandrina Ruby Tuesday. So one of my lovely followers on Instagram sent me these because they will be great for my gravel garden. So I'm going to give it a go. Amaranthus, didn't grow them last year, grew them the year before. I found they were great in the cut flower border, and I'm going to add them in the hot border again this year, but I might just direct sow them because they're so easy. Then we've got South African Foxglove. This is a new plant that I saw on the Chiltern website absolutely fell in love with the colour of it. It's like a soft lilac-y blue colour. I always love to try and grow something new. So yeah, I'm not aiming for big quantities, but to try that will be amazing. Hyacinth bean. These are hard. I have grown these for a few years and I've never actually had much success, but I'm determined to try again. I really, really want that to work out. And then Claria apple blossom just looks stunning. And I did try an autumn sow some Claria, also known as Gadisha, and they have not done very well. A very, very dark, wet autumn and winter has meant they just look a bit rubbish, and I've got quite a lot of damping off. So I'm going to go again with those. And then in April is sort of like the last, I say the last chance because then you sow again I sow my biennials in June, but it's the last chance to get plants for that growing year. And some things like the heat and need the warmth to germinate. I think I actually did them earlier last year. Well, that says it can. Oh, I've put that in this pile because I'm going to direct sow them. Bunny tails. Really, really great for cut flowers. Loved those. Cosmos Purity, the purest white cosmos. I figured I might just sprinkle some of these in the border. They're just great. Corna Bianca, I've already got some of these in the zippy, but again, these can be direct sown in April, which is why I've put them in the pack. I kind of thought there's no harm in just having a bit of a sprinkle around the garden. Same with these poppies. I'm just going to scatter and sprinkle. These asters, I'm going to try again with. It just wasn't my year for asters last year. Scabious, you can never have enough of those, so I'm going to direct sprinkle some of those in April. And then 3 varieties of Zenia. So Zenia definitely love the warmth, and I am going to sow these in April. So I've got Purple Prince, which I've grown many a time. That's going to go in my hot border. It is such a bold, gorgeous colour. And then I've gone for a mix of bright colours to go in the hot border. And then I just loved the colour of these dream ones. They were like a bit of a lilac-y, so I might do them in pots. So that is everything that I'm going to be sowing in addition to my collections. So the great thing about storing and organising them like this just means that I can put these away. I slide them back in this case and then I know where they are. And then whichever month we're in, I just have to keep this out. And then all the others can just go away until the end of the month, where I will put any packets back in the January one and then move on to the next box. It just really helps to keep things organised. It helps to keep the seeds dry and nothing's going to eat them. So yes, that works really well. And then, yeah, also I will be sowing the varieties in these collections as well. So it's going to be a really busy growing year and I'm super excited. I think the most important thing for me is that you have to not be overwhelmed and just enjoy the process. So like I've said, it's not for me about having 50 of everything. I actually love the process of trying new things from seed, and particularly when it's things that I've never grown before. I don't want trays and trays and trays of thinned out seedlings. I might just want, so I've got these great 7cm trays that have just got six little cells. They're brilliant. So if it's a new variety that I've never grown before, I'm aiming just to have 6. So it doesn't take up a lot of space and it's just a really good way of me deciding if I love that plant. So 6 I can easily find space for in my borders, or it's enough for me to do a nice full pot if I'm going to experiment with a pot. It's also a really good time at the beginning of January to have a look at what you might have growing from the autumn and do a little bit of a stock check. I always recommend to my Growclub members that they do this, and actually we did it together in November. So just go out with a pen and paper and take note of what you've got growing and think about where they're going to be going. Are you going to be having them in pots? Is there a particular bit of your border you're going to be having them in? And just really have a good chat with yourself and see if you've got too many. because the chances are, especially when you're new to growing from seed, you thin out your little tiny seedlings, but you can't bear to get rid of any and you want to save them all. And before you know it, you've got 40 of one variety and you don't possibly have the space for that. So it's a really good time in Jan just to have a really good think. How many of that plant do I actually need? Add a few extra because you might have disasters. Some might die, some might get eaten, you never know. But just really think about how many of that plant you're going to need. And your seed packet will tell you your height and your spread. So that will help you to plan, right, are those going to be going at the back of my border? Are they going to be at the middle? And then you can really think about where you've got gaps in height and space. And then you can plan what else you need to grow. But definitely just thinking about what you've already got and where things are going to go. You can donate seedlings to schools, to care homes, to Cubs, Brownies. There's so many places that will bite your hand off at the opportunity to have some seedlings. So I've got a local care home to me that actually love the trays of seedlings that I don't use, and then the residents thin them out. It's a really lovely thing to do, to know that you've grown something that then gives some lovely residents like a bit of purpose and something to do. So that's what I will be doing with any of my surplus seedlings. So nothing goes to waste. And any seedlings that I have got left, I'll be taking to my school garden where the kids can plant them. So yeah, there's always someone that will take seedlings off your hand. And also don't forget about Facebook Marketplace. You've only got to put a post on there that you've got some seedlings and somebody will come and get them. Trust me. So never feel bad about growing too much, and never feel bad about wanting to grow more, because it is just such an amazing process and you'll never regret growing something new, especially if it's something that you're going to fall in love with. It's just the most exciting time to be growing and thinking about filling our gardens, and maybe even growing for the first time. So that's what I'm growing. Stay tuned, and it won't be long before we know it. It will be warm, it will be sunny, and we'll be planting these things out in the garden. So it's super exciting. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my budget family garden, and I'll see you again soon.